Welcome to Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm here with Paul Davidson. He's the Assistant Director of Student Ventures for FastForward U. So what is FastForward U?
So FastForward U is the entrepreneurship hub at Johns Hopkins. We support all students ranging from undergraduate through postdoc, and we support students from, we like to say, from the curious through the committed. So folks that maybe they have an idea or are curious about entrepreneurship, all the way through individual ventures and teams that have raised millions of dollars that are venture-backed companies as well. So it's a huge continuum of supports that we offer.
All the way from idea to making money.
Yeah, exactly. So, and a lot of times, like I'd say, most are I think it skews more in the ideation stage, and part of that is helping connect them to resources and kind of figuring out how do you get that idea off the ground, how can they get that to building a minimum viable product or MVP. And sometimes what's needed is just building connections with other students to build out a team. So we do a lot of that connection building.
So you have two different tracks. One is Spark and one is Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
So those are two of our accelerator programs. Spark is the ideation stage accelerator. It's run twice per year, and it's all virtual. So a lot of Hopkins students actually are in other countries and other cities with, especially, well, really more only the graduate students. Mm-hmm. Just there's certain online programs and different things. So that is really, it lends nicely to supporting everyone across the Hopkins ecosystem. And those students work with my colleague, Sephora St. Armand. She's the program manager here at FastForward U. And each semester we have like 35 to 45 teams. So it's a huge cohort of individuals. And then in addition to staff, like full-time staff support, we have student interns called strategic advisors. And they plan weekly mastermind sessions. And in those sessions, they're working on ideas of customer discovery, how to build a team, like really all of the basics to get things off the ground. And then at the end of the semester, they do a demo day where they can compete for additional prize funding. All of our funds at FastForward U are non-dilutive, and what that means is we're not taking equity. All of that funding goes directly back into their companies. The Fuel cohort, on the other hand, this is the one that I oversee along with my colleague, Josh Ambrose, who's the director of Student Ventures. It's a much smaller cohort. So each semester we have 9 to 10 teams. It's a bigger commitment. So they meet, this is run in person and virtually. We switch off depending on semester. Each week we bring in guest speakers. They talk about their founding journey. Each team is also connected to 3 mentors, usually from the alumni network, but some are just connections based on certain needs of the teams. By completing this cohort, individuals they're securing a larger stipend, so they get $5,000 at the end of the semester for completing this program, and then they also compete for larger prizes at the end with our demo day. And we bring in external judges, usually alumni, but sometimes just folks in the Baltimore ecosystem. We do work very hard to try to connect them to other opportunities within Baltimore. Our hope and aim is that some of these folks will stay here and headquarter here post graduation. But a little bit of background: this semester we have 10 teams. I think 7 of them are led by graduate students. 3 of them are undergraduate, and we're representing 5 of the 9 Hopkins schools. So if you didn't know, Hopkins has 9 schools, or like they're not all on different campuses, but like there's engineering, arts and sciences, business, medicine, public health, nursing, and we're really excited to have founders that are representative of various academic disciplines. We have many teams that are female-led and other underrepresented groups, because I mean, a lot of folks, when you think of big entrepreneurs, you're thinking like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, basically all white,
a certain
white men.
demographic.
Yeah, so we're really excited to be working with folks that are a little bit more representative of the city of Baltimore, but also just like professional folks in general. So it's really, really fun to be supporting these teams.
So is this Baltimore version of Shark Tank open to the public, or?
Some of our demo days, we do welcome external guests, but to participate in these 2 accelerators, they do have to have a student. The lead has to be a student. I'd say the one workaround of this is that some of our teams have other team members that could be community members, or they're friends from other institutions. something we're trying to encourage our teams to do is like think about how can they strategically leverage the talent that's in Baltimore. So there's so many other institutions with the University System of Maryland. There's also Loyola and University of Baltimore. Like oftentimes the requirement at each of these institutions, similar to Hopkins, is that they have to have a team lead, and what that probably a co-founder, not necessarily an intern. But if you're looking to grow, each institution has things that they specialize in, and that will open the door to other funding opportunities and other accelerators that can just lead to more experiences and other investment to get a little bit further off the ground.
More network, more money.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of money to go around. I mean, we're not Silicon Valley, but there's so many individuals and like boosters that are trying to support entrepreneurs as best they can in Baltimore and in the region and then in the state as a whole.
Yeah, just being so close to the seat of government, so close to lots of DoD projects and contractors. I imagine there's lots. So, do you have any success stories you want to share?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's hard to narrow that down. But I would say one of them that I'm really excited, or it's two teams actually, but it's a new award at Johns Hopkins. This past spring, we launched the President's Venture Fellowship, and this is an award that it's our first six-figure award for a team. So that is just super exciting in general. But both of the teams that were awarded, one of them is called Curvature, and the other one is called Aptibridge. Both, I think, we're going to see in a few years, just like making significant progress in the medical space and like major issues of cancer therapies and also back pain, which is just things that impact millions of Americans and millions more across the globe. But both of these companies they did the Fuel Accelerator cohort, and then they applied for this very competitive cycle to earn $100,000 in this President's Venture Fellowship. And then in addition to that, they're getting another $40,000 living stipend. So then
so they can focus on their business.
Yes, they can focus on their business, invest in their business, grow right here in Baltimore. So one of the requirements for that award is that they're staying in the city. So it's been really exciting to see how they've grown over time and continue to succeed. And they're also giving back in certain ways. They're meeting with the current cohort of fuel teams, and they're also like people are just very excited about this throughout the city and across campus. I know they're now able to take a few classes at the business school. So they both of the team leads for those companies have more science backgrounds, but they're now kind of broadening their expertise, which I think will just increase their likelihood of growth and expansion over time. So there's so many more I could share, but I would say because we're in an interview, definitely go to our website. We have another award called Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This is a grant that's each spring that's very competitive, but so many of those teams are doing exciting things of addressing the opioid epidemic and just major things that are important to to all of us, all of our lives that impact us in various ways.
Well, Paul said right before we started that this is the coolest job. And I imagine that it would be because, again, you're surrounded by all this inspiration and people doing stuff, changing the world in unexpected ways. This has got to be so.
Yeah.
You can feel it when you walk in. You can feel the energy of the space. It's amazing. So we are right in the heart of Remington, just across from our house and on the second floor. So not everybody knows that it's here, but what do you love about being in this area?
Yeah, so I love the Homewood campus of Johns Hopkins, but I think it's really wonderful to be slightly off campus. Even when folks are like, "Oh, it's a little bit far of a walk," but I think there's rewards for that. There's so many small businesses in the area, like an independent bookstore, independent coffee shop, our house right over there. There's always other events, and just it's a pretty vibrant area that I think myself and students do take advantage of for different meetings. Or I know even, for example, right now, my colleagues are at a meeting with external folks at our house. So I feel like creates a second meeting space for us. And the neighbors in this area are really motivated to see it thrive. There's a thriving neighborhood association that we're trying to partner with to do different community cleanups and have perhaps some involvement with RemFest, which I believe is in the spring. I know they've had to move some festival dates around with different city festivals happening, but yeah, I think just having that opportunity to support local is really nice because even though a lot of our student ventures are in the technology or life sciences space, at the end of the day, we're trying to help them understand that it's important to support local, connect with potential customers and clients.
And funders.
Yeah, and this provides really the opportunity to do that right here, and yeah.
Well, I think this is wonderful. I think it's part of the entire Baltimore Renaissance that's happening, and we want great jobs. We want great companies to headquarter here. So I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
And people here are doing amazing things and building something. I think anybody building something is somebody you want to know.
Absolutely, and yeah, you're gonna see some of these names that are doing our accelerators in the future. So keep an eye out.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard for Boots in Baltimore. More videos soon.